The Last of Us. 20 years after the destruction of modern civilization, smuggler Joel must take young Ellie out of an oppressive quarantine zone and escort her to her destination. Together, they will cross the United States, helping each other to survive. This post-apocalyptic science fiction and drama series, released this past January 15th, 2023 on HBO, is based on the video game of 2013 of the same name, developed by Naughty Dog, and enjoys the participation in the starring roles of Pedro Pascal in the role of Joel and Bella Ramsey in the role of Ellie, among other good actors. This series has a story that is original in its own way, although the theme of a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by zombies has been explored in countless productions in both recognized series and movies. Let's say then that it is original for its unique way of exploring this subject. What is worth mentioning is that, as we have read, for the vast majority of fans of the video game, this series is a good screen adaptation of it. For us, after watching the first 2 episodes, this series is not only interesting but dramatic, shocking in parts, emotional, distressing, and with a good dose of suspense that hooks you from the first episode. As for the production elements, it is worth mentioning the excellent cinematography and the very good set designs, makeup, sound, and special effects. The performances of the entire cast are generally good, highlighting those of Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, who are credible and convincing, doing justice to their roles. This series has 9 episodes in total, with the last one to be released on March 12th. So, we like this series a lot. It's entertaining to watch and is shaping up to be one of the best productions of 2023. That's why we give it 3.5 stars out of 5. We recommend that you watch it if you haven't done so already, and if you are fans of productions of this genre. The Rig. When the crew of the Kinloch Bravo oil rig, located in the North Sea, must return to the mainland, a mysterious fog arrives and cuts off communication with the outside world. The crew will be driven to the limits of their endurance and loyalty, and will be forced into a confrontation with forces that are beyond their imagination. This British science fiction and thriller series was released this past January 6, 2023 on Amazon Prime Video, and enjoys the participation of renowned actors such as Ian Glenn in the role of Magnus, Martin Copston as Fulmer, Emily Hampshire as Rose, among others, and is directed by John Strickland and Alex Holmes. The story in itself is original and interesting enough, dramatic and full of mystery to keep you entertained during the 6 episodes of this first season, but the series as a whole is far from being very good or spectacular, since there are parts that are somewhat slow, dull, exaggerated, hard to believe, and even ridiculous in its argument that spoil this production a bit. On the other hand, there are moments where the plot becomes somewhat confusing and even seems to develop in a hurried way, as if they wanted to give the viewer the answers to the mystery surrounding the story in an accelerated fashion. We don't want to mention any details so as not to give out any spoilers in case you haven't watched the series yet. However, this series is not bad and is worth watching, but we think they could have done it much better. As for the production elements such as the cinematography, set designs, special effects and makeup, these are all good, as are the performances of the entire cast, although there are a couple of supporting actors who for us act in a somewhat exaggerated way and not very convincing in their roles. It is worth highlighting the performances of Ian Glenn and Martin Copston, who are very convincing in their respective roles. So, in the end, this series in its entirety ends up entertaining you, and even with the shortcomings mentioned, as we said before, it is worth watching, and that's why we give it 2.5 stars out of 5. Just in case, the last episode leaves the viewer without a true end to the story, and with a surprising cliffhanger, so more than certain there will be a second season if they don't cancel the series. Until next time.